Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this presentation about the transition from KG2 to Grade 1. My name is Lynn White. I'm a KG2 teacher and I'm also the grade level leader for the early years. The purpose of today's presentation is to provide further information about Grade 1 at our school and to share and provide answers to the most commonly asked parent questions around this transition. So the transition, why do we do it and how do we do it? The reason why we usually have a transition in place for the children is to familiarise the KG2s with the places and systems and routines of Grade 1. Typically how we do this is that during the month of May, we buddy up with a Grade 1 class and we have several visits where we visit the Grade 1 classroom, we participate in their activities, they will show us around their spaces, we get to meet the Grade 1 students and they answer questions for us about Grade 1. The way that this will happen this year is that at the moment the KG2 team are collecting questions from the KG2 students about Grade 1 and these will be posed to the Grade 1 teachers and children and they will respond either through video or through written answers that will again in turn be shared with the KG2s. In terms of a transition for parents, again, usually we offer a presentation on site where we share this information and we take questions. And again, that's the purpose of today's presentation, to share those same slides with you. In terms of the buddying of classes, we hope to be back on site at the beginning of June. It will be a very busy time with lots of other things to do. We may virtually buddy with classes, perhaps having an informal chat via our smart boards about what Grade 1 is like and any advice the students may want to give us. But again, that will very much depend on restrictions that are in place and the time that is available. Something important to note is that when the children move from KG2 to Grade 1, they take a wealth of information with them. So the current KG2 teachers will put together personal, social, emotional and academic information about the children, and those will be handed on to their respective new teachers as part of a handover process. The KG2 teachers also have meetings at the start of the new academic year with the new Grade 1 teachers to discuss the children who have been placed in their class and how best to support them. I'd now like to address some of the common questions that we get each year from the KG2 parents around the transition. This first question is a question that's asked regularly. Will my child be ready and what can I do? And I think this question is particularly important during this time. So let me start by saying that as a PYP school, we work through phases of development. We acknowledge that everybody learns differently and at different rates. So as opposed to some other systems, there is no checklist for Grade 1. You don't have to pass KG2 to get into Grade 1. There are no end of year specific outcomes you must meet. We have learning outcomes in place, but those are for all the different phases because again, we know that children learn differently and at different rates. Your child is ready to move to Grade 1. If they were not, you would have had a conversation with your class teacher already. And your child moves on, as I said, with a wealth of information about where they're at and what their next steps are for success. In terms of what you can do to support this transition, the feedback we get from the Grade 1 teachers every year is independence skills. So if you can support your children in keeping up their independence skills, so managing their belongings, eating food independently is very important, being able to dress themselves, again, that's important when they're changing for and after swimming. Those skills are key. We're also asked what the children can do over the summer to prepare for Grade 1. There is no set preparation for Grade 1. What we would encourage is that the children keep up their interests and passions over the summer. So if your child is a child who likes to read or write, then continue to support them perhaps by visiting the library if that's possible, or keeping a journal, writing letters to friends. If sports, art and music are their passion, then let them continue with that. Another question that we're asked a lot is, which class will my child be in Grade 1? Will they be with their friends? So let me clarify how the students are grouped and what factors are considered. So the existing KG2 classes will be mixed for grade 1, and many factors are considered by the teachers. Those factors include friendship. When we're asked the question, will they be with friends? We always make sure that the children are with at least 1 or 2 friends from their own class before they move to grade 1. So friendship is key. Gender is another thing, a good balance of males and females as far as possible. Nationality is considered, again, for a diverse mix in an international school as far as we possibly can. EAL, which is English as an additional language, needs are considered, and the class dynamics, so how those children will interact with each other. This is a very long and collaborative process. Teachers put a great deal of time, thought, and effort into ensuring the best possible fit for the children. And this process doesn't end in June. It continues when teachers come back in August. We recheck the classes. We always have to make changes based on new students who've enrolled and children who may have relocated during the summer months. We are asked sometimes if we can take requests. Those requests are sometimes around friendships. They're around teachers. Those requests are noted but never guaranteed. I would say that requests around teachers are not worthwhile, as the grade 1 teachers are not decided upon until after the holiday. I would say that other requests that have been noted in the past have been around friendship groups. They have been noted around the specific needs of a child. And again, those are noted. You should pass those to your class teachers, but they are not guaranteed. Language options. So your child can and will select a language for grade 1. The language choices are French, Chinese, and Spanish. And very soon the language department will be in touch to ask which of those languages you would like to choose. KG2 teachers will discuss students who might need possible English language support with the EAL team towards the end of KG2. You would be informed, and these children will be tested at the start of grade 1 to determine the level of support needed. To add to this, I would say that when you are choosing your language option, please choose an additional language. So, for example, if your mother tongue at home is French, your child should not choose French as an additional language because that is their mother tongue. It has to be a language that is in addition, not the same. All right, so moving up to grade 1. As I said, the grade 1 teaching team will not be decided for some time due to the fact that numbers are changing, staff are changing. At the moment, we don't know how many grade 1 classes there will be, so we don't know how many teachers. Please be assured that all of our teachers are incredibly experienced, and any teacher would be an asset to the grade 1 teaching team. The grade 1s value the partnership between school and home, and they encourage you as your child moves up to ensure that the communication is open and frequent in the same way it has been in KG2. You have a variety of methods for communication, and those continue: email, seesaw, phone calls, parent-teacher conferences, and student-led conferences. In terms of being aware of what the children are learning, you will get a yearly overview of the curriculum at the start of the year, and you will also have unit of inquiry information every time a new unit is about to start. As the IB works in phases, the grade 1 curriculum builds, like I said, on where the children are and what they've achieved. In terms of what it looks like in the classroom, learning centres and inquiry activities continue in the same way that they did in KG2. Field trips usually happen for each unit where possible, and a lot of collaboration takes place between the grade 1 classes and with the older classes in the PY. So lots of opportunities for buddy reading with older children, for the grades 1s to present their learning to other classes, and learning activities are inquiry-based where the students are encouraged to lead their learning. Grade 1 logistics is a question that we're asked about, and I've picked out the most frequent questions we're asked. In terms of lunch, in the same way as KG2, it's not recommended that grade 1 students bring money. All lunches for grade 1 should be pre-ordered or bringing a packed lunch from home. Something that is different is the morning routine and the children's arrival at school. So when the children arrive at school, either being dropped off or coming by the bus, they will play downstairs in the courtyard next to the primary playground and the cafeteria. They play there before coming upstairs when the whistle is blown. In the first week, there will be teachers and teaching partners to help students adjust to their new routine before coming upstairs. Eating supervision is always another question. There are teachers on duty in the cafeteria to ensure that students are eating their food. Students are able to remain in the cafeteria until they've finished eating, and teachers will ensure they have time to play too. Sometimes we're also asked about grade 1 homework. There is no homework for grade 1. However, children are encouraged to make connections to their learning in class, and there are home readers as there were in KG2. I really hope that this presentation has gone some way to answering some of the questions you may have around the transition. Any further questions you have, you are invited to ask your child's class teacher. That should be your first port of call. If you have a question pertaining to grade 1 or the wider curriculum, or your child class teacher refers you to me, then I'm more than willing to help. My email address is shown. Thank you again. Thank you for your support with home-based learning, and we look forward to having the children back in school, hopefully very soon.